So hello friends, I'm Jabrash Patel and this is the part 3 of the React series where we were learning the most professional way in a most professional way React and how to develop React sites. So this is the part 3 where we'll be writing our own Hello World app right from scratch, and scratch means really scratch. So we'll be learning how the React really works, how that renders components. In the previous episode, I have shown you how you can set up React locally on your computer. In this episode, I will be showing you how you can set up React on Open Sandbox, which is an online website or online service where you will have your own ID and create. So we'll be writing hello world from scratch. So as you can see, this is the React documentation. And yeah, Black Lives Matter. I do support it. So if you support, that's great. So this is React. This is the open sandbox, and it's a great platform to develop React application. This the biggest advantage of this is you don't need to wait till all the development, all the setup, time. So as you create a website using, if you create a website using Create React app, it takes a lot of time, and like we don't have that much time. So let's get started. So first of all, you just go to this open code sandbox.io. You don't need to sign up for doing. Yeah, so if you want to save your code, then you may sign up. Okay, so first let's go and quickly click on this React icon. Okay, so as soon as you click that, let's wait. As soon as you click that, that will essentially create React app. um, create React app. You create a React app using create React app. Okay, so let's wait. Okay, so as you can see, our ID is getting ready. It's like creating the React app. Yeah, so as you can see, within like less than 10 seconds our React app is up and running. So this is the biggest advantage, and as you can see, this is creating using create React app template. Okay, so let's collapse this panel. Okay, so we don't need that. So the structure, you may see a little bit different structure here. There are some extra files which are, they are in the local uh, installation, but yeah, these only have those files which are really required. Okay, so let's start. First of all, if you're not getting why these are files are there, or why do we need them, let's do one thing. Let's delete all the files. Okay, so we'll be deleting this one. Okay, uh, maybe we'll be deleting one as well. uh, Maybe we will be deleting this one as well. Okay, so we have deleted all the files in the source folder. What's next? Next thing, we'll be creating a new file. Let's say index.js. So as you must be knowing, the index.js file is executed first, right? So now we will be understanding React from startup. So how the React works is like you essentially you have, like, if you go to the public directory and then this index.html, you have a component, you have a element here which has an id root. So all your application is essentially going to be in between this two div tags, and as you can see, this have an id root. So what we'll be doing is we'll be picking this id root. We'll be picking this div with this id root, and we'll be placing all our application inside these two divs. And let's see how we can do that. First of all, let's do one thing. Let's import React. So yeah, one more thing, that this comes with pre-installed like React DOM, and React scripts. So if you want to add any other extra package, you can go to add dependency and just type the name, and if you click on that, that will be added, I think. Okay, so let's import React from from React. Okay, so we have imported React. Next we need React DOM. Okay, React DOM. So now what is React DOM? React DOM is essentially that program which actually takes your JXX code, that the HTML inside the JavaScript file, and puts that inside the browser DOM. Okay, so you have two DOMs, in React. So that's great. Now we will import this from React DOM. Okay, once we do that, next thing is like, let's take that div which was there in this folder right over here, if you can see. And one more thing, like you can collapse this panel over here by clicking Control B. Okay, so that will collapse that panel. Okay, so what this is like the output. Okay, so this is where you are seeing the current app. We don't have anything. So let's go back. Just remember that we have a component called div with id root. Okay. So what we can do is let let's say uh, let's say root element is equals to document dot get element by id. So the id for which we are really trying is root. Okay, so we have the root element of our React app. So next thing is to load everything, our app inside this root element. So how we will be doing it? We'll be saying react dom dot render. We'll be calling the render function inside the react dom. Okay, so now this takes two arguments. First is the component, and the second is the element of the index file where you want to render this component. So what you can do is you can type there here something called now react dot strict mode. Okay, so you must be thinking, what, I have never seen a component like that. So let me do one thing. First, you have this React strict, and let's place our other component inside this React strict. Now, what is this strict mode in React? I'll be telling you after rendering a component. Okay, so it's like this is our React app. Okay, and then the next thing what you can do is you can give the element that where you want to render this element. Okay, so this is the root element. Okay, so if you see, this is our React app. So we have successfully rendered our React app. This is this tag in our React app. So you must be thinking, what is the strict mode? The strict mode, if you go to the React documentation, you'll see strict mode is a tool for highlighting potential problems in the application. Okay, so this actually warns you and guides you. Like it is like sort of debugging uh, thing. It will help you to debug your app. It will notify you for any error which is there in your program. So that is the solution for it, right? So you can even do it without this strict mode. That will also work, but then you will not have this debugging functionalities. Okay, so let's save this one. Now we don't want to write all our app over here in between these things, because this file will grow very large and it will be very difficult to maintain our application. So what we do is we break our application into various components. Now, what is components? Components is like, let's go to the site. Okay, so you can see a navigation bar is there. You can see a paragraph, and like this is a different section. Okay, the sidebar. So all these things are essentially a component, right? So these are different components, and you can make them separately in React, and you can even reuse this component. So that is a great feature of React. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's create a new component, and let's render our app inside that component. So what you can do is uh, okay, so let's collapse this sandbox info. Okay, so this is the file section. Okay, so where our file is explorer. Okay, so let's create a new file. Let's call it app.js. Okay, we'll be creating this. Okay, so we will be rendering our app inside this app.js. Next thing what we'll be doing is we'll be importing the React from React. Okay, and let's create a component. Now you can create a component by this. So let's say that a component name will be app. So this is essentially a functional component. So this is essentially a functional component. Okay, so you can even create a class-based component. We'll be learning about class-based component in later episodes. So let's return something called h1. Okay, so let's return h1 tag, and let's say this is our app. Okay, and let's export this. Using export default, so you can export a component like this app. So we have default exported this component called apps. So now next thing what you can do is you can let's save it. Okay. Let's go to the index page, and let's like import the component. So how we can do that? That's also very simple. So we can say import. Okay, import what app from the current directory. Okay, so from the current directory app. Okay, so we have imported app. So let's instead of this h1, render the app components. So let's say app details. Okay, so if you add a new file, this sometimes. Okay, now you can see this is our dope app, so it has rendered. So if you create a new file, sometimes takes sometimes. Okay, so we have our new we have successfully rendered our app component in our app successfully. So this was the Hello World in React. I hope you like it. We'll be continuing the series with much more exciting parts. We'll be learning navigation through different pages. We'll be learning React hooks. We'll be learning more advanced concepts like Redux in this series. So stay tuned and do subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified about the updates. Thank you. Have a great day.